Hey guys, it's Mikleo. Welcome back to Long Live the Queen. In the last episode, we started our, ascension to Queen, essentially. And we got our cousin bitten and learned about lumens and all that and couldn't get our lumen crystal back. So in this episode, we're going to continue to learn some vital skills and hopefully try and get our lumen crystals. I went and looked over the checks I failed when trying to get into the lumen or get into the vault, and it was accounting and present, so I am going to try and focus on that. I don't have a penalty to economics, so I can definitely take accounting, but I do have a penalty to royal demeanor. So I'm going to want to change my mood in hopes of lowering that penalty. So I'll study accounting and something I have a bonus to, which is medicine and conversation. So I'll do court manners and accounting then. Okay, so court manners and accounting. You review the correct greetings for guests according to rank when to extend your hand to another. All nobles expect their due honors, and you brush up on basic mathematics with the help of an abacus? I don't actually know how that's pronounced. I've only ever read it before. Anyways, the representative from Ixion, I forgot how I pronounced that, is here. Be careful, no one wants to give up prizes that they have won. You have the full support of my sister and myself, Your Highness. Let's get this over with. You're new. Alright. Your Royal Highness, thank you for granting me this audience. I'm sure we can come to an amicable agreement. Let bygones be bygones, no? We forget about your unprovoked attacks on us, and you will transfer the rights to the little province. I'm failing every test. We can be good neighbors again without any lives being lost. Execute him! I'll offer him money if Ixion withdraws. That is not acceptable. All the land north of the river belongs to us. We are willing to offer some payment in exchange for the inconvenience you have suffered, but nothing more. I believe we could settle the matter for 8,000 golden lassie. That's an awful lot of money. I don't know how much the treasury is, but I'm clearly an idiot, so... Fine. Very well. Negotiating like this is stressful. You bet it is. What's our mood right now? Cheerful? That's good. Alright, and I've thought about it. I feel like keeping everything in the middle as possible so I can, like, easily switch moods if I need to learn a specific skill, even though I don't know what the bonuses are for each skill, would be wise, so... I guess we'll attend court. Sitting on court sessions is not fun at all, but it pleases your father and it may be important for your future. Oh, look at her! She's so happy! Oh. Okay, so we still have a bonus in conversation. We have a bit in agility and faith, and then athletics. So... Oh, and our royal demeanor is fine, so let's get our presents. I feel like spreading myself so thin like this is probably a bad idea, but I really want my lumen crystal for one, and I want to take advantages of the bonuses otherwise if I can, so Let's get our presence up, and well as let's run. So presence, and it was running, so athletics. All right. You practice wearing the royal regalia and looking at yourself in the mirror. Young as you are a queen of blood. You are your mother's daughter. You are a force to be reckoned with. You practice walking at a brisk but comfortable pace for a set length of time every day. Alright. There are reports that a Keithong has been sighted leaving the old forest. What's a Keithong? A beast with the body of an enormous golden cat, a sharp beak, and spikes on its back. So like a chimera, kinda? I know a chimera is like a different combination of animals, I think. I'm not up to snuff on my mythology. Eek! Several disappearances in southern Caloris are already thought to be the work of this creature. What do we do? Should we send hunters? The traditional policy on stray beasts is to hope that they return to the forest and stay there. Hunters are no match for such creatures. You would only make it angry and waste more lives. So, we just let it eat people? Everyone dies in the end. Lovely. +1 depressed. Same? Also, there is a letter for you. Talaris, the Duke of Sedna, will be arriving next week for an official visit. Okay? Let's see if we have enough. Nope. You try and talk your way past the... Alright, so... she looks pissed. Alright, let's focus on economics and... Ooh, we can't do presents right now. So we'll focus on accounting and see if we can get our mood back in a place to do royal demeanor, but until then, let's focus on swords. Okay. Weapons, swords, economics, accounting. Let's go! You study the manipulation of larger quantities through direct calculations using written numbers instead of an abacus. You practice slow swings to move your blade to precisely mark targets, building up your muscles and control. Ah, Your Highness, what a pleasure it is to meet you in person at last. Your description did not do you justice. I don't know how to deal with handsome older men paying me compliments. I like him. I was so pleased to hear that you had accepted my humble offering, a jewel for a jewel, but you are more precious. I hope that this is only the beginning of a mutually beneficial relationship. A union between us would bring stability to both our peoples. He really does want to marry me. Screw it, he's cool. I would be honored. Elodie. Your Grace, are you not aware that my daughter has only 14 summers? It's my decision. Yeah, I know, but I feel like no matter who I marry, they're going to be a lot older in this game. So I'm just gonna ignore it and move on. A betrothal only, of course. There's no need for hurry. You have your coronation to plan for, after all. If I might be of service in any way, please send for me. I will be happy to offer my protection or advice. What's my mood like? I want to turn the pressure up a little bit and the anger down a little bit, if I can. So... I think... Ooh, is there a way to do afraid without lonely? That would be it, I believe. So then it would be a battle of willful versus lonely, I think. You pay your respects to your mother's tomb and wonder if the same fate is waiting for you. She looks willful. Still a thing for royal demeanor. I wonder what I need for that. And a bad for economics, but a thing for military and intrigue. Okay. So let's focus on military and intrigue then. I didn't start this out thinking about military, but oh well. So I haven't done ciphering yet, but I think I should focus a little bit on one. So let's do internal affairs. And then let's do strategy. Internal affairs. Strategy. Let's go! Your maternal uncle's wife, the Countess Nyx, claims kinship to the older Minerva line, and originally asked your mother for a title to the duchy. Duchy? Duchy, probably. Words are hard, okay? However, no one can verify her lineage. As a compromise, your mother created her brother Duke of Minerva? Okay. The last Duke of Mead was the older half-brother of the current Duchess. Her reign was brief and highly scandalous. Ooh, scandalous. He defied tradition to pledge himself as the life mate of the old Duke of Ursal, then broke that off only a year later. He retired into seclusion and died still unwed. You study the effects of battle stress on troops and how morale can turn the tide of combat, and you study military recruitment and the importance of training and motivation in making soldiers who can trust and depend on each other. You are requested to stand in judgment. A woman has been convicted of attempted murder and requests the mercy of the crown. Your Highness, this slattern dares to beg pardon when she admits that she tried to poison my sister under her own roof. Which sister? Corisande, the Duchess of Mead. Is she alright? She is unharmed. We caught the culprit in the kitchens before anyone could eat her foul spew. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? It's justice it is. Them devils killed me brother and broke me ma'am's heart. Lied to her, they did, when she went to see why he'd not come back. She said he'd gone for a soldier, when he never would. You weren't the only one, neither. I waited 10 years for my chance to get my own back. That's justice. You see, she's completely unrepentant. Hang her and be done with it. Partial success. This might have something to do with the last Duke of Mead. He was involved in all sorts of scandals. Let's hear more about the story. I need to know if she has any justification for Anders. Did the Duke kill her brother? Oh, whoops, I made a mistake. Are you accusing my family? I'm asking what happened. The honor of our line is far greater than that of a wet-bottomed child who sits on the throne. What? Without warning, the Earl of Io draws a dagger and slices the convict's throat. Oh no. No one harms my family, no one. He throws the bloodstained blade to the floor and walks away. Ugh. Well, I want him locked up, definitely. Let's get the anger and willful down if I can. I guess. You spend the weekend holed up alone in your room with your favorite toys. It's childish, but you feel better. I'm still angry, I think. Yeah. Well, let's read up on military and swords, then. Let's do logistics. Yeah, master swordswoman. You drill with a partner and attacking and blocking in carefully timed patterns. You practice moving with a blade, sidestepping, charging, and lunging. You study the kinds of equipment that soldiers need available, such as bedding, weapons, armor, medicine, bandages, and the tools to repair anything damaged. You study different kinds of transport, animals, wagons, sledges, ships, boats, and boots. As you are walking one day in the gardens, you hear a strange sound and look up to see an owl flying overhead. A single dry leaf flutters in its talons. That's funny. I thought owls were nocturnal. Test falcons! I guess I was wrong. When you return to the castle, your father is waiting for you. There's a woman here to see you. She wishes crowdfunding for a project. Thank you for seeing me, Your Highness. I've come to you on behalf of the people. I wish to build a hospital where any citizen afflicted with a disease can be brought for treatment. Putting all the sick people together, wouldn't that make them die even faster? Elodie! We are not interested. Elodie! Oh... I mean... I kind of understand why you would think that, but come on. Oh, we're lonely again, aren't we? Still can't do royal demeanor, huh? Let's do medicine. Look for battlefield medicine, I guess. And conversation. Let's read up on our court manners so we understand what the hell. Because I do want to be more diplomatic if I can. And avoid what happened earlier. But I'm studying military and weapons as well, so I'm not just completely caught off guard. Any court matters, and what was the other thing I was going to study? Battlefield medicine. Actually, let's do the accounting, because I don't know if I have that high enough, and I probably don't. So court medicine and accounting. Let's go. As the person of the highest rank within the domain, no one may sit at any formal event unless you give them permission, and no one must ever turn their back on you. If they do, you are intended to recognize the insult. You study rules for formal dining, including the proper utensils for different dishes. As the queen, no one will comment on your mistakes, but they will notice them. You study money lending and the controversies involved in charging interest. According to the Druids, one should always return more than one is loaned, or else the debt gave no value to the world. I see. Remember that the Festival of the Good Lady is approaching. There will be public celebrations for the commoners, followed by a grand gala for the nobility. A grand ball, there will be dancing. As queen, you would be expected to lead the procession and take part in the ceremonial planting, possibly give a speech. So it's telling me, study dancing, study public speaking. However, since you are not yet crowned, it is not required, and it may not be safe to expose you to the public. What do you mean not safe? Outside the castle, you are less well protected. If anyone means you harm, think on it now, decide later. Will the Duke of Sedna attend the gala? It is a traditional Novena event. Inviting your fiancé might be seen as a statement. Let's invite him. If I'm going to marry him, it's a statement I ought to send, as you wish. There's a letter for you as well. It's from Bryony. I went to school with her, but she's a couple years older than me. Her mother is the Duchess of Mead. She's complaining that her mother still won't let her come home for the holidays. Apparently her Uncle Kevin is absolutely furious about that woman's trial. She's bored and looking for an adventure. Well, I don't have any to suggest to her. Well, I don't want to be lonely anymore. So I guess I gotta turn pressured up a bit. Is there any way to do that other than go into court? No. What mood is that? Yielding? Bonus to royal demeanor! History and faith. Okay. So let's get our public speaking up and our presence. What was it? Royal demeanor. There we go. You take deep breaths and practice speaking loudly and clearly, projecting your voice to every corner of the room, and you stare at yourself in the mirror and practice focusing and transmitting energy with only your eyes, turning the intensity of your gaze on and off and at will. Today is the procession and planting for the Festival of the Good Lady. Will you be leading the parade? If you have any concerns about your safety, please stay here. The people will recover from disappointment. If we lose you, there is no recovery. There's only that one guy. And I don't know what his family is, so that family might be out to get me. I just studied public speaking. I'm gonna risk it. I'm not afraid. I'm going to be the best parade leader ever. My little girl. You prepare your best gown for the occasion, then walk slowly through the town with your attendants. It would not be appropriate for you to wear a sword, but you do walk with a sturdy golden scepter that's taller than you are. At the end of the route, you help the priestesses turn over the earth for the new tree to be planted. After the blessings are read, you hold up your hands and call for silence so you can speak. Unfortunately, all the words you'd planned go out of your head when you're faced with the moment. You manage a few polite sayings about the meanings of the holidays and thank everyone for attending, then turn away, your cheeks red. The procession regroups to the castle. Whoops! Let's see if I can treasury now. God damn it! Give me my crystal! I will fight! I'm still gonna study the sword. While you were busy being heterosexual, I studied the blade. And accounting, I guess. Weapons, the sword, economics, accounting. You practice using your blade to disarm opponents or shove them backwards. Your skill in swords is now 50. You may not increase the skill until your other weapon skills are 25 or higher. You study bookkeeping and the art of notating incomes and expenditures, as well as how to determine the amount of funds a solvent businesses need to keep on hand in order to continue functioning. Are you ready for the grand ball? All the nobles in the domain are here to see you, to see their queen. Oh, I should have studied dancing. You finish dressing and descend the stairs to make a grand entrance. Oh, this is pretty. I like the, snowflake things. All around, the rich and powerful pause in their activities to gaze upon you, the ruler of them all. I'm failing, every test. Seeing yourself reflected in so many eyes makes you want to run away and hide. After a moment, you force yourself to carry on, but you're sure they've all seen you hesitate. Your father waits for you at the bottom of the stairs and offers his arm. The first dance is for us. He guides you gently around the dance floor, never rushing you. It's fun to dance with your father, but the look in his eyes is so sad. I believe the next turn is mine. He bows gracefully and offers you his hand, then leans close to whisper a quick question. Do you know how to dance? Nod or shake your head. Step on his foot! Oh, I kind of want to pick that, but not well, so I'll shake my head. Watch me, I'll go slowly. Dancing with a real partner feels quite different from dancing with your father, especially when the man in front of you is one you have agreed to marry. His touch is gentle, his every move carefully signaled to make sure that you don't miss the beat. Is this what your marriage will be like? Between the dances, there's time for the guests to mingle, chat, and sample tiny bits of exquisite food. During a lull in the music, Banian, the Duke of Marie, taps an elegant fingernail against a wine glass, letting a clear note ring out through the room. If I might have your attention, I believe we should offer our compliments to our lovely hostess. Her words of wisdom guide us through our difficulties. Everyone applauds politely. As the gala continues, you take the opportunity to observe nobles that you rarely see. There's Gwenelle, for instance, the young lady of Sudbury, only months older than you and due to finally inherit control of her duchy soon. Or Adele, the youngest daughter of the Duchess of Lila, and a fierce sportswoman. She was a few years ahead of you at school and an absolute terror of the ball fields. No Bryony, she said her parents were leaving her stuck at school this season. Her parents are here dancing together, the Duke consort clutching her Duchess possessively tight. Strange that there's no sign of your cousins, though. Shouldn't they be here? Your aunt and uncle are here, of course. It would be scandalous if they hadn't come, Merva being so close by. It's nice to enjoy time with friends and family, isn't it? Sense magic failed. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. As the evening grows late, your personal guest draws you aside for a private conversation. You have my most fulsome thanks for the invitation to this event. However, you might wish to spend more time with the scribes before corresponding in writing with other nobles. Some may not appreciate your unique sense of phrasing. Well, screw you. Wonderful. I sounded like an idiot. It's always the greatest of pleasures for me to be in your presence. That may not be the case for all those whom you have invited. Please do not overlook the dangers that may face you from within. A queen, or even a duke, must always be aware of the possibility of intrigue, especially when those who wish to protect you may not always be present. I look forward to the day when we no longer have to part. I like him. He seems like a good guy. I expect betrayal, honestly, but for now, he seems like a good guy. Current mood, angry. I don't want that. Is there any way to be cheerful other than... Oh, lonely. That would put me, like, dead in the middle, wouldn't it? Let's see what that does. A walk in the fresh air helps you forget the burdens on your shoulders. Looks like I'm still angry. Oh, because anger is the opposite of afraid, not cheerful. My bad. Well, let's research the other weapons so I can get on with my sword practice. Let's get my damn court manners up even more. I'll do archery. There we go. You learn how to twist and wax bowstring from a variety of fibers, and you study the traditions of ballroom etiquette, how to politely accept or defer an offer, and how to avoid the impression of attachment to an individual. You wander downstairs to visit your father and talk about the latest events in the domain. You're moving with such enthusiasm that you don't realize your father isn't alone until it's too late to avoid him and his companion, Siren, the Countess of Miranda and Castillo. You are too kind, Jocelyn. Countess Siren, not a member of your circles. She's a bit more than a decade your senior, far too old to have ever been your friend, and yet not at all old as noblewomen go. She has 2 minor titles, no husband, and your father's arm in her grasp. How dare she make a move on your father? Either way, we're all just being petty. I don't know, solved her with a false flattery. Good afternoon, Countess. My, what large breasts you have! Putting them on display for any particular reason? Oh my god! Elodie! Really, my dear, it's not polite to comment on a lady's attributes like that. But you are young. You will grow. Oof. Perhaps we'll be seeing more of each other in the future. She gives a little wave and exits. When she's gone, you raise an eyebrow at your father. This is the path that you have set us on. What do you mean? Your acts have made everyone think about preparations for the future. Caloris needs an heir. My brother, your Uncle Armand, is looking for a wife as well. One of us, at least, must produce more children. But, Mama, nothing can ever replace your mother, but we all have to do things we don't want to do. You should be careful how you deal with people like Siren. You will need the goodwill of your nobles as well as your commoners. There haven't been any problems thus far. Many dark looks were aimed your way at the gala. As queen, you must be aware of everything around you. Isn't that what I have agents for? We succeeded a test! Yes, but you must give them direction. What is your greatest concern? Thinking back from that one guy that brought a thing to court, he was a noble, right? So noble plots, probably. I need to know what the other nobles are up to and whether anyone is plotting behind my back. As you wish? Alright, I don't want to be angry anymore. How do I make her much more afraid? Or just minus angry. We still anger though, so let's take the same classes. Why not? You learn to cut, fletch, and tie arrows. You learn about different styles and sizes of bow, long, short, and recurve. You memorize the correct title for every servant in the castle. Treating servants with respect ensures good service. Yeah, we need to upgrade our other conversation skills. It is the time of year to decide any adjustments to the royal budget. The majority of the money you receive is already spoken for, but there is always room for discretion. Partial success. I really don't understand all these numbers, maybe I should leave them alone. As much as I would like to lower taxes, I don't know what they are right now. I don't know if they're reasonable. So I don't want to lower them to potentially bad numbers that would leave the royal treasury broke. But at the same time, I don't want to raise the taxes, so I'll just keep them the same. I think they'll fine as they are, as you wish. Let's get rid of the angry again. What am I now? Just neutral. Nice, I like that. Also, this should be the last week for this episode, so let's see. I want to upgrade... Oh yeah, my presence in accounting I can focus on, though my accounting's already close to the limit, so let's double down on presence. And hopefully this week I can get into the treasury. You practice using different styles of breathing in order to feel more energetic and to let that energy surround you for others to share. And you plant your feet in a strong stance, imagining that you are a tree deeply rooted in the earth. You feel the power within you and know that you will not be pushed aside. And you practice focusing your attention on individuals as you pass, letting them feel a brief connection with you before you formally acknowledge them with a nod. You are requested to stand in judgment. A man has been convicted of the murder by strangling of his wife. He does not deny his act, but requests a pardon that he might be set free. If you admit you killed your wife, why do you think I'm going to set you free? Save me, your majesty. It wasn't my fault. Demons made me do it. Everyone knows the power of magical beasties. They used me. They twisted my finger into chains. My wife found me screaming. She tried to shake me, and the chains wrapped around her. I need the priestess to bless me and make me clean again. Demons that make you attack people, is that even possible? No, I'm not going to pardon him. He murdered his wife. Whatever the reason. I'm going to imprison him. Whether there were demons or not, you still killed a woman, your wife. I won't forgive you for that. You will be imprisoned for the rest of your life. He opens his mouth to argue with you further, but then his shoulders slump. Yes, your majesty. Alright, let's go! You try to explain to the guards that you need to visit the treasury in order to get an accurate report of the domain's finances. They waver slightly, but in the end they stand by your father's commands. damn it! I just want my jewel. I guess we're studying accounting next week, but anyway, that's all for this episode. Thank you for watching. In the next episode, we'll study more accounting, I guess, and in hope that'll be the limit, or like the, you know what I'm getting at. I hope that'll be the check so I can pass. Other than that, I'm not quite sure. Taking a glance, I might study polearms so I can soon raise the limit on my sword skills. I don't know. But either way, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.